Hello everyone, today I'll be talking about what is a privilege motion. Recently, a privilege motion has been issued against the former Chief Justice of India, Mr. Ranjan Gogoi, who is currently the Rajya Sabha member, in regard to the comments that he made during an interview given to the NDTV on 9th December. So what he said in this interview was that he has this privilege and he decides that when he wants to go to the parliament proceedings and when not. Later on, though he gave the clarification that he was suffering from COVID and because of the non-compliance with the COVID measures inside the parliament, he used to avoid to go to the parliament proceedings. And if we talk about his presence in the parliament proceedings or his attendance, it is less than 10%. So after this interview which he gave, the Rajya Sabha lawmakers from Trinamool Congress and Congress submitted the notice for privilege motion notice against the fellow MP, that is Mr. Ranjan Gogoi. So in today's video, we will understand what is a privilege motion, how this motion is breached, what are the rules which govern this privilege motion, and what are the privileges which are enjoyed by the parliament, by the member of parliament. So let's start with the privilege motion. So this privilege motion is concerned with the breach of parliamentary privileges which are enjoyed by a minister. So when a privilege is breached, or when we will say that that a particular minister or a particular parliament member has breached his or her privileges. So parliamentary privileges are certain rights and immunities which are enjoyed by the member of parliament individually and collectively, so that they can effectively discharge their function. And when any of these rights and immunities are disregarded, the offense is called the breach of privilege. So when any of these immunities are disregarded, it may be identified as a breach of privilege and is punishable under law of parliament. So whenever it is seen that such breach is done, a notice is moved in the form of a motion by any member of either house against those being guilty of a breach of privilege. So this is how the breach of privilege works. And the speaker or the Rajya Sabha chair plays a very important role in identifying this breach, because the first level scrutiny of a privilege motion is done by the speaker of the Lok Sabha or the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So either the speaker or the chair decides that whether the breach has been done or not, or they can transfer it, they can refer such breach to the privilege committee. So either of them can decide. Now, when we talk about this privilege committee, what is this committee? It is a standing committee. It examines the cases of breach of the privileges of the House and its members and recommends appropriate action. So if we talk about Lok Sabha, in Lok Sabha, the committee has 15 members and Rajya Sabha committee has 10 members. So this is how this whole process of breach is decided, and on this basis, they come on to some conclusion. Now, there are certain rules which governs these privileges. So rule number 222 in chapter 20 of the Lok Sabha rule book, and correspondingly rule 187 chapter 16 of the Rajya Sabha rule book governs these privileges. And these rules say that a member may, with the consent of the speaker or the chairperson, raise a question involving a breach of privilege either of a member or of the house or a committee thereof. So these are the rules which are provided to us, and according to these rules only, these ministers are governed. And in case of breach, this rule book is seen that what is written, and they act accordingly. Now, this is in short about the privilege motion. But when we are again and again talking about the privileges, that they enjoy privileges, what are these privileges? What are these parliamentary privileges? So I will in short explain you what are the privileges that are enjoyed by the members. And also one more important thing is that Parliament till now has not made any special law to exhaustively codify all the privileges. So there is no law which specifically tells you about that, okay, these are the privileges. No, there is no law in relation to that. There is no specific law. So let's start with that these parliamentary privileges are special rights, immunities and exemptions which are enjoyed by the two houses of parliament, their committees and their members. So the constitution also extends the parliamentary privileges to those persons who are entitled to speak and take part in the proceedings of a house of parliament. So it is not just restricted to the members or the MPs, but it is also provided to those people who are entitled to speak and take part in the proceedings of a house of parliament. So, for example, if we talk about who are those people, who are those persons who are entitled to speak, then the best example is Attorney General of India and Union Ministers. These are the people who are though not members of Parliament, but are entitled to speak, and that is the reason that they enjoyed such privileges. So these parliamentary privileges do not extend to president, who is also an integral part of the parliament, but presidents do not enjoy these privileges. According to Article 361 of the Constitution, it provides that president has their own privileges. So it has been specifically provided that what are the privileges which are enjoyed by the president, but president do not enjoy these parliamentary privileges, and it is provided under Article 361. Now coming on to the Constitution where these parliamentary privileges are provided. So Article 105 of the Constitution expressly mentions two privileges, that is freedom of speech in Parliament and the right of publication of its proceedings. So these are the two privileges that are expressly provided under Article 105 of the Constitution. Now, apart from the privileges which are provided under the Constitution, the CPC, that is Code of Civil Procedure 1908, provides for freedom from arrest and detention of a member under civil proceedings during the continuance of the meeting of the House or of a committee, and therefore 40 days before its commencement and 40 days after its conclusion, no member can be arrested. These are the privileges which are enjoyed. That is, if there is any member of parliament, they say anything, then they cannot be arrested or detained 40 days before and 40 days after the continuance of the meeting of the House. So they cannot be arrested. So these are the privileges which are enjoyed by the member of parliament or by those persons who are entitled to take part in the proceedings. I hope this video was helpful to all of you. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. And in case you have any issue in regard to legal matters or you want to study law, then you can directly contact to me on my Instagram ID. The link for the same is provided in the description below. Thank you very much.